Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon Buddies, and today, little talking point. What are we talking about, buddy?
We're talking and schmucking. So what we're going to talk about today is actually an article that Jeff sent me, last week? No, or a couple days ago.
A couple days ago.
And the article talked about 1792, foolproof, brought up some great points that I think you and I just wanted to kind of discuss with you guys.
Just the whole idea of labeling something all of a sudden award-winning when it's been around, and now all of a sudden it wins an award. And then it turns into, like, how much of that is just marketing? Not that it doesn't deserve an award and not that it doesn't deserve attention or anything like that, but then what that does in a lot of areas for availability and price. And we run into that. I mean, we ran into that with McKenna.
Yeah, oh, geez.
All of a sudden, we couldn't find it. And to me,
Yep.
I get it. It's frustrating. I mean, I get the marketing side. I get it's the whole trend thing.
Yeah.
And people are buying it because they think it's something, and not that it's not good, but they think it's something special, or that's what they're supposed to be drinking, and the whole thing just kind of gets weird for, like I said, I get it. I get the marketing, I get it's good for the industry in one way, but at the same time, it's kind of not. That frustrates me, because as soon as I saw this article come out, I was like, oh, there goes the price. Price is going up $10, not gonna be able to find it. Maybe 15, 20, depending on the demand. And that's great to promote something, get it out there, but it's been out there, and that, to me, that's really frustrating.
Yeah, it's not like it's a new product.
It's not like you're dropping this new whiskey.
I agree with you, because where I see it is that automatically when a whiskey gets an award, let's say it's a whiskey of the world, or if it's, bourbon of the year, whatever it is.
Whiskey of the local fair.
The local fair. I like that. But let's say that you get an award, all of a sudden, we automatically go, oh, well, first off, there goes the availability. It's going to be off the shelf.
Yep.
And then second, when you do find it back on the shelf, it's going to be up like $10. And we did see that happen with Henry McKenna, and
Right.
It was like, now we just expect that to kind of happen with everything else. The thing is, with 1792 foolproof, they might have enough of it that they might not have to do that, hopefully. But I did see it go off the shelf. It was gone. It was completely gone off the shelf in Pennsylvania. When there is a whiskey or a bourbon that gets all these high accolades, the one thing that really kind of upsets me, I'm gonna get it off my chest.
What grinds his gears?
People go in and then just buy it up.
Like the
Let's
impulse
say.
buy, they run in and buy as many as they
Yeah.
can get their hands on, like it's gonna be worth something someday, like some sort of collector's item. Which
Yes.
I guess if you hold on to it long enough, you could, but you ran in and bought a bottle of, 1792 foolproof, since we're talking about that,
Yeah.
and you buried it in a mayonnaise jar in the backyard and dug it up in 30 years, there's probably gonna be some of us out there that'll be like, oh, that's cool, let's try it, give you $100 for it. But I don't think, or whatever, a couple $100, maybe $1,000, who knows? Most people aren't doing that. They're just hoarding it.
They hear that it's, really good, and then they're like, hey, you know what? Let's just buy it up. Probably not even going through their head that, listen, hey, I'm gonna buy this up and then nobody else is gonna have it. They're probably not thinking of it like that. They're just like, I gotta have it, I see it, I'm gonna buy everything.
I've heard it's so great, I gotta have it, I might not be able to get it again.
And that's where then
Yeah.
you're sitting with what, 2 cases of 1792 foolproof in your basement. I mean, it's a very good bourbon.
It's great.
Trust me.
It's
I
great.
mean,
Love
it's fantastic. I have nothing wrong to say.
We're just
about
using
it.
that as an example.
Yeah, I'm seeing that a lot now. Buffalo Trace. Now it's allocated, because it won't stay on the shelf. And what ends up happening is that you get somebody that comes in, and if you don't allocate it, you don't limit how many bottles that the customer can get, all of a sudden,
They'll clear you out.
Honestly, I've met a couple store owners that have now said, listen, you're only allowed to have one bottle of Buffalo Trace.
Regular Buffalo Trace or
Regular Buffalo Trace.
Oh, Jesus.
And of course, Eagle Rare and Weller. Weller is a whole different story. I'm not even getting that topic.
We don't have enough time for that right now.
Yeah, we don't have enough time.
And it's marketing. And
You're
though
right.
I can respect marketing and I can respect for the industry's sake what they're doing, it just turns into a mess. Maybe if I was on the other side of, if I was a marketing person, I'd be like, oh, well, this is the thing to do, and we make money, and blah, 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 and that's great. I get it from the business aspect, the availability aspect. I mean, course, there again, what drives price? Supply and demand. And I guess that just gets frustrating because they slap these awards on stuff, and if the right person says it, and that's with anything.
It
the
is.
right person says brand X is the thing to use.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have
freaks
brand
out.
X. I mean, whether it's cars, tires, shoes, hats.
Not only, solely of bourbon and whiskey.
No, not at all.
I think it's good for bourbon in a sense to get all these, this attention.
Bourbon's kind of hot right now.
It's out on the streets.
And that's awesome. And I can respect what they're doing marketing wise, but it's frustrating because right away price goes up, people hoard it, you can't get it. And what I do is I just move on. I mean, I used to buy McKenna all the time, the 10-year.
Right.
I used to buy it probably every couple months. I'd buy another bottle of it. Now, I haven't even looked for it. I just kind of wrote it off. And that kind of stinks in one way, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not gonna chase this stuff down. There's so much other good stuff out there. Why am I gonna?
And it's all on the shelf.
I mean, it was a hidden gem. Do I think it's worth $50? Yeah, I do.
$50 is $50. That doesn't change anything. And $50 for, I would say, most people
is a good chunk. There's a lot of people who won't spend $50. I do believe it drinks worth $50 because when it was like 34, 35, it was like a gem. It was like that little secret that you didn't tell anybody about, or not too many people. It deserved the award for being excellent, but that is subjective as well.
Palates are all subjective. So I think we kind of mentioned it before in a video where we were talking about how each palate is different. So you have these people that are rating whiskeys. Their palates are different than maybe your palate. And that's why it's very important to understand and get to know what do they like, what do they dislike.
What are they rating?
Yeah.
What is their criteria? What's good to them might not be good to you.
And that can actually help you out. Because if you know what palate they are or what their palate's like, then you can go, ooh, I really like typically what they review and what they review highly.
Yes.
So guess what? I'm gonna go try this one out.
Because they gave it good marks.
And
that's really what it should be.
That's what it should be,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and there again, I can respect the business side.
Yeah.
But it is frustrating at times. But that same concept we've done with wine.
Yeah,
we have our guy.
It's been in the
we
wine
have our
world
guy
for,
the right person
time.
says this is a good wine, and everybody's, oh my God.
It scored 100 points by this person, and then it's gone. Now it's allocated, that whole thing where you get on a waiting list for that vineyard or winery, and just to be able to get the chance to buy it. I know that I'm on a couple of those where it's like, I was just like, oh, whatever, I'll just try, right? And then once a year you'll get like...
You get the email.
Yeah, the email.
You want this bottle or not?
It's
There's
like
20 other people waiting in line. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really probably like a $20 bottle of wine.
With bourbon, I think, and I see this with the Whiskey Tube community right now, is they're doing a nice job of now saying, you know what? Let's look at all the bourbons and whiskeys that are on the shelf. And I see a couple segments out with you guys that are doing that, which is awesome. And it really helps out the consumer and
what's good that you could actually get your paws on instead of, wow, this is great if you can find it. Most people aren't gonna go beating down the doors. Now, us who are a little bit more of enthusiasts, we're gonna keep our eye out, and some of you might actually really track it down, and that's awesome, like no disrespect, but it just comes down to, as soon as I saw the article, I was like, here we go. Because I had just finished a bottle of it.
Yeah.
And then decided to buy, I was gonna get another bottle like 2 days before I saw the article, and I was like, you know what? I just finished that, I'm gonna buy this instead. Then I was like, after I saw it, I was like, oh, I should have bought a bottle, before the price jumps up $15.
I think the newest kind of craze that I've seen out there right now is Stag Junior batch, and specific batch is batch 12. I just think Stag Junior in general is getting that, where
it's a good product.
Yeah.
So I mean, it deserves the respect and the acknowledgement that it is, but there again, you say, oh, this batch is the greatest thing since the lava lamp.
I have batch 10 at home, and everybody like poo-poos on that. I'm like, and I tried it, I'm like, dude, this is awesome. And it was sitting on the shelf.
If you want to be like anti-urban establishment, we're gonna stick it to the man.
Oh, yes.
You go maybe in between. It's like, oh, batch 13's the bomb, so you buy batch 12. You could be getting something that, there again, was it much different? Could be, very well could be.
Oh, yeah.
But it may not be, and may just be, batch 12 wasn't acknowledged, or batch 10 wasn't acknowledged.
And that's kind of where you can get in there and get your toes wet. I usually get my toes wet on the weekends. A good foot soak. See you later.
Yep.
With some bourbon?
Yep. Just pour a little bourbon in the foot soak.
Yeah, you just soak it up through your skin.
So anyhow, that's our thoughts on this. let us know what you think. I mean, there are different perspectives. We're open to it. It just seems like they're just slapping awards on things to get it to sell. And I can understand that, but it's still frustrating as a consumer and an enthusiast sometimes. And there again, I'm sure there's collectors who love it. Hey man, I already got a couple bottles of that, I'm sitting good, you know? So there is that side of it. So let us know what you think, how maybe you've been affected by it, or maybe we're full of crap and we're just being a bunch of crybabies. And that's
very well.
That's a very good possibility, right? So anyway, from the Bourbon Buddies, we want to thank you guys and gals for tuning in. We're having a lot of fun and we appreciate the support. So thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.